Hi, word nerds. So, this set of roots is actually going to go through this week and next week. I'm not going to check the roots until next week because there's a lot of cutting and gluing involved. Like, you're going to get a stapled version of 2 pieces of paper, for a stapled set of 4 pieces of paper. The first 2 are one set of these numbers, and the second 2 pages are the second set. So what I did when I was creating these, like when I was cutting mine out, I ripped the first 2 pages separate from the second 2 pages and cut out and glued the first 2 pages that I ripped off first. And then I took the other 2 pages and cut and glued them. So you've really got to make sure that you've got the right things glued together. So the Latin prefixes are the ones that you see right below here. So we have uni, bi, tri, quad, quint, sex, sept, oct, non, and dec. These are all the Latin ones, so these are the ones that need to be glued together. It's going to take a long time to cut them out, but that's why I'm giving you this week and next week to get these done. There's not much to write on them. It's mostly the cutting and stuff, so you can reference these later. And these are the Greek prefixes. So we have mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hex, hept, oct, ennia, and dec. So I'm going to do Latin first. Like I said, there's not going to be much to write, or at least by the second set. We're not going to write as many. Okay, so the Latin prefixes, remember it has uni, bi, tri, quad, quint, sex, sept, oct, non, and dec. So I glued them together like just at the very bottom where this latches, and I was worried about them coming apart, so I stapled it in 2 spots. So I'm going to put glue all over the back of dec, but not all of the other tabs because then that could get messy. You've got to be able to kind of move around. So I'm going to put these right here and glue down the word Latin next to it. Okay. And then I'm going to do the Greek one on the inside. The reason I'm going to do inside out is that way that it's not just like really sticking out your notebook really far. Make sure you have the Greek ones next to the Greek ones. So the Greek ones are mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hex, hept, oct, ennia, and dec. And so then I'm going to put Greek next to this. I think what would be interesting, because I noticed a couple of them are the same. So, in the middle, I want you to write the box for the things that are in both. So we have tri, which means 3, oct, which means 8, and dec, which means 10. Now, I will say, guys, some of you are probably thinking, well, October's the 10th month, December's the 12th month. There is a reason for that. I think it's just off by 2, but just make sure that you know that dec is 10 and oct is 8. We're going to write down a few examples, not for every single page, because that's exhausting. But we're going to do more for the Latin one than we do for the Greek, because a lot of these words are going to be similar. So, uni, we're going to write united. If you're united, you come together as one. Uniform, everyone's wearing one thing. Unicorn has one horn on its head. And unique, you are your own one person. So 2, bi, we have bifocals, which are a type of glasses where you have 2 sets of lenses in one. We have binoculars, which are a device that you look out of in 2 different lenses for your eyes. Like one lens is on one eye and one is in the other. You bring it up to your head. Kind of like, I'm sure Dora the Explorer has some. Bilingual means you speak 2 languages. And bicycle is a transportation device that has 2 wheels. Okay, tri, we have Triceratops, which has 3 horns. It's a dinosaur with 3 horns. We have triangle, which has 3 sides. Trident, which is what Percy's father, Poseidon, would have. It's that pitchfork looking thing with like 3 different hooks on it. And then tricycle is a vehicle with 3 wheels. For quad, we're just going to do quadrilateral, which has 4 sides. The shape with 4 sides. Quadrilateral. And then a quartet, which is a group of 4 singers or musicians. We're not going to do anything for 5, 6, 7, but we will with 8. We'll do octopus, because an octopus has 8 legs. Nothing for 9. And for 10, we're going to do decade, because a decade is a set of 10 years. And a decathlon is an event with 10, an athletic event with 10 different things that people compete in. Okay, so we have much less words that we're writing in the Greek ones. So mono, for 1, we have monopoly, which is where one person has the most control of businesses, which is like the game. Monologue, which is when a character in a drama is doing one speech by themselves. They're not speaking to anyone, they're just speaking to themselves. And then monotone is when somebody speaks with just kind of one voice, like they don't really talk much, they just kind of sound like, almost like a robot. We have dialogue, which is when 2 or more characters are speaking to each other. A dilemma is when there are 2 options that are up for grabs, and it's kind of like an issue. You're like, well, one's good, but that's an issue. And diverse is when you have 2 or more different ideas. It's kind of all the same stuff, but I was going to put tripod on it too, which I could have put it on the other one, but tripod is like a 3-legged stand for a camera. And that's all we're doing, actually. The rest of them we can keep there. If you see any good words that come up that you want to add to it, you can. But you have this week and next to complete your Greek numbers and Latin numbers.